You know how last time we talked about my relationship with food? I think I've accidentally, classically conditioned myself to feel hungry every time I start a podcast. Because let me tell you, my stomach is on the verge of serenading to you in whatever language my stomach speaks. I'm gonna try to do my best to not let it rumble, but if it does, don't shame me. just let it slide, please. Recently, I discovered this YouTuber slash TikToker slash podcaster. Thanks to the algorithm, I believe his name is Leo Skeppy. And Leo has been a great life coach to me and pointing out all of the things that I have been doing wrong in my life. So basically, Leo is like this, I think, sort of like a life coach. He gives a lot of advice and he's really funny and he doesn't sugarcoat anything. He will lecture me into telling me what I'm doing wrong. And he also pointed out a lot of things that I just kind of swept under the rug. And one day I was listening to this podcast while I think I was doing dishes or folding my laundry. And I realized he was talking about money. He was talking about how, your spending habits is a big reason why, we don't achieve our financial goals. And I paused and I realized, oh my gosh, you're right. I am succumbing to lifestyle inflation. And I wanted to talk about it because I need to stop. And the only person that could stop me is me. So let's have a one-on-one, Julie. All right, to begin, let's talk about my financial goals. So for me, one of the biggest goals I have this year for myself is to knock out another loans that I have under my belt. So originally I started with 3 sets of loans. I've completed 1 and now I'm working towards like 2 more. And I think one is like 10K-ish and then the other one is 18K-ish. And I'm trying to get rid of the 18K loan because that one has a whopping 9.8 interest rate. So I am trying to pay like about 1,000 every month so that I'm thinking, maybe like hopefully within 13 or 14 months, I'll be able to pay it off. So some months, if I have extra cash, I'll throw it into the pit that is Sally Mae. And so far, for the past 2 months, I have been meeting that goal of, sending like 1K consistently. However, I think I am not doing so hot in the other departments. Well, you see, I have been falling into what you would call no, not just one, but multiple consumer traps. It all started because who the heck is that? 1 second, excuse me. It all started after I became a trainer. Thanks to the training position, I had like a little bit of an extra cash on my hand every 13 weeks because that's how long a term is. And generally, I get trained about twice a term. So that's 2 week-long sessions that I get paid for. And because of training sessions, I was able to have, about like more money than I thought. And because of that, one, I have 2 logical options, right? The sensible one is to throw the extra money in student loans. And then the other one, the emotional response is, oh, you know what? I work hard for 2 weeks, and therefore I deserve to treat myself to some things. And some things include, maybe going to restaurants, ordering some takeout, or worse, buying things that I don't need, i.e. clothes, i.e. just random gadgets. I vividly remember it was a Thursday. So my alarm goes off at 6:30. I wake up, I'm feeling kind of groggy, and I'm checking my emails, and inevitably, I get pushed with some kind of promotions about the clothing app, the shopping app that I have on my phone. And they were saying, hey, it's last chance, 40% off, blah, blah, blah. And I click on the app because of course I do. It's at this point, it's a muscle reflex. I click on the app and there was this cargo pants. It was like a white cargo pants for how much? 48? No, I think it was like 50, but with the coupon that they very kindly provided, it knocked it down to like $48. I was looking at it and I was thinking long and hard. And I was like, well, these days I'm trying to buy pieces that not saying like they're timeless, but pieces that I can wear multiple times instead of just like fast fashion pieces that will fall out of my rotation inevitably in like a month or so. And I was looking at the cargo pants. I'm like, When I was in the States, I bought this pair of parachute pants from Zara. It was a little bit pricey, but I wore that pants to death. Like I would wear it so often. It was basically like a second layer of my skin. And I thought, maybe this cargo pants is what I'm looking for, girl. Like I don't have a pair of cargo pants, and I've always been looking for one pair, but the styles that I've came across were never what I was looking for. And this pair, let me tell you, this pair had 2 pockets on the side, as well as, what do you even call that? In the knee area, they have it's folded. No, hold on. I wanted to say it gives you extra knee space. That would not make sense. But it has like 2 folds in the knee area. So it's like a pretty, I'm looking at it as we speak. It's like a pretty unique design. And then to add on top of that, the bottom of the pants also has like a drawstring. So I could tighten it or loosen it depending on what styles I want to go for. And I thought, she is it. She is the moment. I'm gonna cop her. So right after I woke up, I fell into a consumer trap and I bought a cargo pant that wasn't even on my shopping list. Not really. Until I saw an ad for it and I spent $40. Let's not kid ourselves. $50 right after I woke up, just because it was just like an impulsive buy, to be very, very honest. And I didn't even... Is that my neighbor's dog wailing? Hold on. Same. That is an accurate depiction of my wallet. And another thing that pushed me to buy that pair of pants was that since it was on sale, everyone was copying it like it was... I wanted to say drop it like it's hot, but that's not it. Everyone was buying it like freaking hot potatoes. And I saw that most of the sizes were out. Only my size had 8 left in stock. And I thought, you know what? This must be a sign from the universe. This must be the universe telling me, hey girl, cop your pants before it's out. I reserved it just for you. And because of those meaningless signs, I fell for it, and I spent money that I could have saved for other things like groceries or for my transportation or, more productively, for my student loans. Instead, unfortunately, I let that buying power get to my head, and I've started splurging on a lot of things that never really crossed my mind before last month when I got paid. So let me give you the list of shame. First of all, I bought a pair of Gentle Monster glasses frame. So if you haven't heard of them before, which is completely possible, they're like this contemporary glassware company that produce... Jeez, Louise, someone feed this dog, my dude. They make sunglasses, basically makes a lot of frames. And I never thought I would own a pair until after my second week of training. And I thought, you know what, this was tough. I need to reward myself with something. And I had thought that a productive way to do that was to upgrade my glasses, which truthfully I didn't have to do. Yes, I haven't had a checkup in like 3-4 years. However, I could still see, I'm not going completely blind. Everything is not blurry. But I just thought that, I saw this frame back in December. Now that I have the money to pay for it, let me just cop myself a pair. So we went to the mall, we got a pair, and then we went to like an optical shop to get my checkup, which costed an extra $200. So the frame itself was $290, and then the glasses, the lens, eye checkup, everything together was another $200. So I don't know about you, but with my ghetto mathematics, that's almost $500 that I spent in 2 days. Literally that weekend. I bought the frame, then immediately I went to the optical shop, and then a week after I pick up my frame. And that's not even everything on my freaking splurging list. So the frame, the eye checkup, then the freaking cargo pants, that's another $50, right? Then last time I talked about one of my bucket list goal was to go snowboarding. And I went. However, on the way back from the ski resort, there was a Uniqlo in the middle of nowhere. I didn't even think about buying clothes until I walked into the Uniqlo and feeling like I had money. So I walked in there, and then I found these Baker pants, which I will vouch for those Baker pants more than I will vouch for the cargo pants because of the build quality. The fabrics are just thick, and then the color, the olive was just chef's kiss. But I didn't have to spend that money at all. I didn't need an extra pair of pants. I have another pair of freaking carpenter pants that is also olive. But I went in there, I saw the pants, I tried it on, it fit me, and it didn't even bother me to check the price. So at the checkout, it was $89. Like everything together was $89. I think I got, what did I get? Heat Tech innerwear, that was $7. Then I got like a mock neck top. I think that was $20. And then the pants, not the cargo pants, I keep thinking about the cargo pants. Can you tell that I'm traumatized? The bigger pants, they were $60. I thought they were like $49.99. Nah, they were $60. And at the checkout, I was like, okay, it's fine. I have money. I just laughed. And I also, offered to like pay for dinner. Did I offer to pay for dinner? I forgot. But I just had this pseudo mindset that, hey, with all this money, I can do all these things, which at the moment it feels great, right? It feels very generous to pay for dinner. It feels very good to reward myself and being able to buy things that I just want, not necessarily need. But in the end, it's not going to take me anywhere. If anything, if I'm wise with my spending decisions, I could save up more money, right? But with the extra money that I gain and with the extra expenses, I am back at zero. I'm not advancing in any way. And that's not very mature, and that's not very productive. And to be honest, all the things that I'm buying, it's not a necessity that I need. And this also happened in other areas as well. So I have been living in my apartment this is my second contract. So by the end of November, it would be my second year in this loft apartment. In the beginning, when I moved in, when I found this listing, it was like a sign from heaven. Because for me, one of the things that I really wanted was having a loft. And it's hard to have a loft in the middle of Seoul because Seoul is very expensive. It's not a lot of room, and population is super dense. Therefore, what is this? Real estate is going to be expensive. So I found this place, which the price is really, really, really nice. I pay about $630 for rent, plus utilities on the side. And then the area is really nice. There's a tennis court outside my window, and subway station's not too far. If I walk, I could probably speed walk in 15 minutes. And at the subway station, there's like an outlet mall over there. There is a No Brand over there where I can buy groceries for cheap. And Uniqlo is there. 8 Second is there. 8 Second is like their version of H&M. What else is there? I think that's all I go there for. There's some restaurants over there as well. But overall, this area is pretty calm. It's not as busy as Seoul, and the area I live in is safe. And the building that I live in, this apartment, is relatively new. So everything is clean. I don't have any pest issues. I don't have any mold issues. And the gym that I go to is on the 3rd floor. And I also have a laundromat. Laundromat on the 3rd floor as well. So if you think of it, this is a great deal. It's a great package, right? And I'm very, very, very lucky to have stumbled upon this deal. And I should be grateful to just be content living here. But because of this extra boost of cash, and I also got my, tax return for the year. So I got about like 1,000. I'm like, whew, extra money, like another 1,000 I could spend. What should I buy? Like what? Some clothes from my favorite streetwear brand. Like should I splurge a little bit here? Should I go to omakase? Like what should we do? But I know I should save it. I know I should put it towards student loans. But there's also a part of me that feels like, it feels like such a shame if I just throw it in to student loans because I'll never see that money again, and it's money I'll work hard for. But at the same time, it's a responsibility that I have to pay off. It's a byproduct of my education. There's no avoiding it. So the good news is, no, I did not touch that money. I did not splurge on it. I still have some common sense left in my brain. And now I'm just thinking about, okay, what should I do? What can I do? And that gave me this pseudo confidence yet again to think about upgrading my apartment. So I started looking at listings around this area because not in Seoul. I don't really live near Seoul. I have to commute about an hour and a half to get to downtown, if you want to call Seoul, like Myeongdong and Mapo in that area downtown, then it takes me like an hour or so to get there. I was looking at listing. I was like, right now I have a loft, right? But girl, you could do better. Like, let's say what? 1.5 room. So 1.5 room is like you get like a living room and then you get an actual room. So for me, I only have a living room right now. I don't have an actual room. However, in order to upgrade to those apartments, I have to save up another 5K for a key deposit. So currently with my apartment, I have 5K down as key deposit, and then I pay monthly. And this is what we call the 월세, monthly payment. But if I want to get to a bigger place, I have two options. One, either I just drop loads of key deposits, or I have to pay a lot more. So the places that I was looking at, it was literally my dream apartment. The loft is much better and the amenities were updated. I get a living room. I get a separate room with a freaking glass sliding door. It literally like a K-drama apartment. And with that, I would have to put down 10K deposit, and I would also have to pay 1,000 plus for rent monthly. Now, can I do that? Yes, I could. But if I do, and I still want to keep up with my 1K payment, I would live a very miserable life. I wouldn't be able to, go out and eat out every weekend. I wouldn't be able to, buy occasionally things that I like clothing or other small gadgets. I would have to be very, very mindful with what I have to eat. And so at the end of the day, yes, it's doable, but is it sensible? Absolutely not. So I had to talk myself out of this lifestyle inflation. You should be content with what you have. This apartment really has what I need. And because my salary isn't really at the point where I could just move into my dream apartment, I shouldn't really focus on that. That shouldn't be the top of my priority list. I should knock this student loan thing out of the park so that I have more financial freedom. Because I guess I really hustle, and my ultimate goal is to have it all finished before I turn 30, which I think is possible. It really is, if I stay disciplined. Then I have the room to think about upgrading other areas in my life. I think the privilege got to my head a little bit, and I was acting like a big shot with my little wallet. Like, Julie, who do you think you are? Bill Gates? Who do you think you are? Friggin' Elon Musk with your tiny trainer week bonus. So I still have, some of the listings saved. I guess it's more so like a motivation than anything at this point, because I know that it's not possible for me to save up $5,000 and pay $1,000 each month right now at the moment. And I know it's not realistic for me to pay $1,000 for rent right now. And all the places that I've looked at, they don't have what I have now. There isn't a gym within the building. There isn't a tennis court right outside of the window. There is a subway station right next to the building, which is another reason why the listing is expensive. But that shouldn't be the focus of my life right now. And I really have to remind myself on a daily, whenever I want to take out my card to pay for something, like, do you really need this in your life? It's cool and stuff with new clothes that I get to buy, but if anything, it's crowding my closet, my small, tiny closet that I don't have room for all these things. And I'm having to declutter and donate clothes that I no longer wear. And the hoarder syndrome in me is like, oh, but I don't want to let it go. This has history with me. Like, I brought it all the way from the US. Yeah, but you wore it like 2 times tops. So why are you carrying around these dead weight? I need to deep clean my mindset and my spending habit to be one with my goals, I think. So those are the things that I have been doing very poorly on. And I'm putting this out in the universe in hopes of stopping my behavior, because now you get to call me out if I ever splurge on anything else. But there are things that I am improving, that I'm doing better for myself. For one, I started Korean classes again. So last year, in the beginning, I think in February, I signed up for Korean class at this Korean academy, and then I went there consistently until I think May or June. Wow, my neighbors are really vacuuming right now. And I had to stop because, one, it got expensive. So they were raising their prices during the summer. And also I had summer intensive, so there was no way that I could fit my class in between that schedule. Then ever since then, I kind of stopped taking Korean classes or improving my Korean skills, because it wasn't really on my priority list. But then earlier this month, our branch, so my work, decided to, let's do a test run. Let's do a Korean class. So we want to see how many people are interested, and let's just go ahead and try it out. We can practice some daily expressions, practice some grammar, and, just for fun. And in the beginning, I thought, it's not going to be as structured as I like. Because obviously, if I go to a Korean academy, there's a set curriculum. Whereas at our branch, it's just, we look for a topic, and then we learn about it. We learn some vocabularies. And that's it. But I thought, it's free. First of all, it's free. So why would you pass logically, why would you pass on an opportunity like this just because you want to be an introvert and not want to, you feel shy and you don't want to practice in front of your coworkers? Let's use your brain for a second. So I showed up to the first lesson, and basically we we had like an entrance exam. We took a quiz, and then we had some speaking opportunities. Then we got sorted into two different classes. So there's like the first class where they teach you about the alphabets and then just like the basics of Korean. And then there's the second class where we focus more on like speaking or building communication skills as well as grammar points. So I got sorted into the second class. And then every week on Friday or Thursday, depending on my team lead schedule, we would meet at 2 o'clock before our actual classes that we had to teach at 4. And we'll meet for about an hour and we'll study. So I have been to 3 sessions so far, including the very first orientation session. And so far, I would say that I'm glad that I went because I've been learning some new phrases that I didn't know before. I was able to talk in this space where I don't feel ashamed and nervous. Because I think one reason why I sort of stopped myself from speaking Korean is this sense of guilt and shame and embarrassment when you try to speak it in real life and it's hard for the natives to understand you. So whenever I make a mistake or whenever I sense that the opposite party isn't comprehending what I'm saying, I just retract back into my shell. It's like, you know what, let me just pretend that I'm a foreigner. Wait, I am a foreigner. Let me just pretend that I don't know any Korean and just show them the translation on my phone so that it gives me an easier time, which in the long run is not very good because you want to build Korean skills, Julie. If you want to live here for several years, it would be a shame if you don't know how to speak the language. So I'm glad I took that step and started going to Korean class consistently. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity in that sense. And another thing, secondly, what I've improved on myself is my eating habits. So last time I talked about my relationship with food and how I wasn't really, food had no taste to me. I had no incentive. Well, I had an incentive to eat, but the only incentive was to be full so that my stomach won't rumble in class. But nowadays, I started eating fruits consistently. It's a little bit expensive. It's a little bit hard on me budget. But every morning, I will wake up and start my day with a yogurt bowl. So I will have a few scoops of yogurt. I would have strawberries or kiwi or banana or apple or pear, depending on what's on sale. Because I'm still trying to save money, okay? And then with chia seeds and honey, and I would eat it with my designated Muji wooden bowl. And that would start my day on a very positive note. And I have been doing that pretty consistently for, I think, at least 2-3 weeks now. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, for 3 weeks now. And it's becoming a part of my daily routine. And on top of that, I also started cooking more, like actually cooking more. Because before, I would get these not really pre-made, but it doesn't really take a lot of effort to make it. So I either pop it in the freaking air fryer or all I have to do is just to refry it. Like I didn't really take in the part of prepping for the meal, cooking the meal, eating the meal. But these days I have been cooking again. Like I've been making pastas again. And let us not forget that, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I made curry for the very first time in my entire life. And the first time wasn't so great, but I was still very happy regardless because one, it was something that I tried and I've never have done before, and it wasn't too bad. It didn't flop. It had room for improvement. So the second time when I made it the next week, I bought better ingredients. So I had, carrot. I really debated if I wanted carrot in my curry, but I thought, fine, let's add carrot. So carrot, two potatoes, and one onion. And then I saw this freaking Australian beef that they had on sale for $5. Was it $5? $5 or $6. And I thought, last time I just bought like pre-diced beef, it was okay. It wasn't great. And I also kind of sort of messed up. I overcooked it, so it was too chewy. This time, I had butter left over from making cookies for taro. So oh my gosh, I sear the steak with butter. And this time I cooked it sort of like medium rare. At first I was a little bit scared because for me, I've been conditioned to eat well-done steak. Okay, this is my Asian parents, afraid of getting any like disease from the meat that we consumed. But I cooked it and when I sliced it, it was sort of like a medium rare. I'm like, is this gonna be okay? But then I thought of, eventually I'm gonna put this meat in the pot to simmer with the rest of the curry. So it should be fine. It's gonna simmer for about an hour. If this meat won't cook in an hour, what kind of meat is this, right? So I cooked it with butter. I tried to caramelize the onion with butter. I didn't do it successfully, but it's better than not trying. And then when I put everything together, it tasted like heaven. It was probably the best thing I've ever made in my entire lifetime. And I was so, so proud of myself. I felt so connected with the food that I was eating. I was excited to eat it. I even packed some for dinner, usually for work, if I have night classes from 7 to 10 as well, on top of 4 to 7. I don't really have time to eat in between because my break time is 5 minutes. By the time I make it to my break room, I already lost like 2 minutes. So I have 3 minutes, or actually just 1 minute to eat and then 2 minutes to go back down. But I brought it because I was like, you know what? Even just for a quick bite, I want to have some of my own curry. So that was great. The fact that I made a bomb-ass curry myself gave me a lot of confidence. And then I think overall just reestablished this healthy relationship with food and healthy habits of making food for myself. It felt like I was truly taking care of my own body. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. A good habit I want to keep. And on top of that, I guess, what is it? It's my third point now. Third improvement was at the beginning of the year, I felt that I wasn't doing my fair share of exploring Seoul. Because on the weekends, I would just sort of hold up and edit or do other things that are not very touristy. But I started saying yes to more opportunities of just exploring different pockets of Seoul. And then this weekend, I actually went out with my friend. We went to Muji first. I have developed a healthy obsession of buying journals from Muji. So I had my first, what size is this? I don't remember what size is this. But I bought a pocket note earlier last year. And then I started writing journal entries. So when I went to the island retreat with Taro, that was my first entry in this note. And the original the original intention for this note was like a travel notebook. I would write entries whenever I go to a new place, but eventually it became like a hub. So I write some ideas that I have, quotes that I see, things I need to buy, and then other personal journal entries, as well as, podcast outlines in this journal as well. So I started using this for everything. But Muji also makes these other notes that I really, really like. So there's this, unbleached paper. It's pretty thin. And I started documenting, what do I eat? I did this last year, but I stopped halfway. So I'm hoping to pick it back up again. So I have my food log notes on unbleached paper. And then I also got another one. I got these passport memo. I really, really like the size and the build and the color and the paper quality. One thing I would never shut up about is Muji's paper quality. Muji stationery, chef's kiss. So for the passport memo, for the dotted paper one, I used it as a gratefulness journal, and I talked about it last time. So every month I would write down anything that I felt grateful for. But then I felt like I really like the form factor of the passport memo, but I've already started using this as a gratefulness journal. I don't want to mess it up. I wanted another one. So I got another one. And don't shame me. Hold on. Wait. This one is only 1,000. So it's much better than my cargo pants splurge. Also, it's more productive because for this new one that I got, I'm using it like a sort of like a daily journal where I don't feel as pressured to be organized with my thoughts. I'll just wake up and I'll write an entry. And I want to see how long it would take for me to fill up this tiny one, because this one only has 24 pages. So if anything, follow me. This is my train of thought. If I get into the habit of writing in the passport memo more, then let's say if I go through one passport memo per month, by the end of the year, I will have 12 small passport. That's going to be so cute. And then I will be able to, put them together in a basket, and I'll say, okay, these are all the journals that I did for 2023. And then I could just go back to whichever month I'm curious about and then flip through the journal entry and just relive my life again. Isn't that a cute idea, right? It's also, I'm practicing mindfulness, and I really do feel better when I journal. It's also practicing my storytelling skills that I will use whenever I create my outline, my script for my YouTube video. Oh my gosh, speaking of my YouTube video, I finally uploaded my homecoming video. That video took so long to birth. 1, I had so many footages. 2, I had so many aspects that I wanted to portray through my video. So I was kind of digging myself a hole, and I almost could not get out. I had to talk myself out of wanting to fit everything inside, because it was just going to be too much. And whenever I finish a video, I always feel very happy, and I always feel very sad. Happy because finally it is done. My story is finished. Sad because there's always more. There's always more to the story that you don't get to see through the videos. And there's more that I want you to know. Like, I wish you knew this part of my story, but it's just not possible for me to see everything the way that I perceived. Maybe the message that I put out, you won't perceive it the same way that I intended to be. So there's that frustration of, I wish you knew everything. But again, there's always more behind the story. And I guess that's just going to be a part of the creating process that I have to make peace with, And all I could do is to be more intentional with the shots that I take, with the message I want to deliver, and that's all I could do. And I guess it's good to have some part of the story to myself as well, because at the end of the day, yes, I want to put my journey on the internet, but I also want to keep some things that only I know, or only the people who were involved knows. So yeah. Did I do anything else productive? Hold on, let me open my Muji notes. What else did I do? Oh yeah, speaking of the weekend. Sorry, I never finished. We went to Muji, right? We got some stationaries, and we went to an all-you-can-eat hot pot place, which was, I was surprised, because usually like all you can eat is a hit or miss. That place was pretty good. Then afterwards, we went to karaoke, and so at the hot pot place, my friend ordered a bottle of soju, and halfway through, she was kind of feeling it. So I chimed in and I tried to help with, I try to help with like 1 shot glass of soju. So it's not a lot, but I tried. And by the end of the meal, we still have half a bottle left. So we thought, should we bring it to the karaoke place? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So we went to 7-Eleven, we got ourselves a cup of ice and we split the rest of the soju between us. And she was like, let me show you my concoction. She got these like yogurt. Think of not the milky yogurts. Think of Yakult, right? Yakult? Think of that type of yogurt, probiotics. So we poured it in and then we mixed it around a little, and it was something that I could drink. So a reason why I don't drink alcohol is I don't like the taste. And actually a few weeks ago on Taro's birthday, we went to this taco place and they had this strawberry colada. I've never had colada before in my life. I've never had pina colada. So I'm like, strawberry, I don't know. I'm feeling the vibe, I'm feeling the mood. So you're going to order a beer, then let me try to play adult too. So I ordered it and oh my gosh, it was the best drink I've had. So on my list of alcohols that I can consume, number 1 was sangrias. And then number 2, there was no number 2. There's like these fruity beers that they have. It's like Japanese. I don't know what is the name. And also in Korean, there's like isuktok. It's like a pink bottle. Not pink bottle, a pink can. And it's something that Mamamoo showed during one of their, what were they doing? They were eating. It was like a segment that they had where they would drink and play games. And Sola from the group Mamamoo, she has very low alcohol tolerance and she was drinking that drink. So I thought, first, she's my bias. Second, we probably have the same amount of alcohol tolerance. So if she can drink it, I could drink it. And I tried it. Yes, I could, but I couldn't even finish like the full can. I could only do half a can and I'm like, this is enough for me. I don't feel like I want to keep drinking anymore. But that strawberry colada, I finished the whole thing. Like I finished the whole thing. It was delicious. It made me feel a little bit tipsy, but I was okay. Like I didn't feel drunk or anything. And then, but that, what is it? Yogurt soju mix was pretty good. Like did I finish the whole thing? I finished the whole thing. Wow. So we have a new top 3 list for my alcohol go-tos. Interesting. But yeah, we went to karaoke and then afterwards we came back and I was so tired. I think I passed out. And then on Sunday, what did we do on Sunday? On Sunday, I finished the video. And then after we finished the video as a celebration, Tara was like, you want to do something fun? I was like, yeah. And we found a bowling alley next to the Starbucks that we went to edit at. And on the way there, he was like, how many times have you bowled? I was like, I'm not going to tell you that because we made a bet. The loser will buy dinner. And I was so cocky. I was like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to win. He's like, okay, so I've been watching like YouTube videos because we're going to have like a company team building at a bowling alley. So blah, blah, blah. Watch out. I'm going to win. I was like, in your dreams. And guess what? I lost not once, but twice. So I lost. And then we had Chinese for dinner. Then that was that. And it felt weird because by the time I went home, it was still bright outside. And I thought, I want to do something else. And I finally checked socials again. And I was spamming all the stories that I've been saving in March. And I saw AOMG. AOMG is a record label in Korea. And they had this record fair. I didn't know that they had a record. Well, how am I supposed to know, Julie? You were not checking at all. But I didn't know that they had a record fair. And one of the artists that signed under the label, her name is Davida. She made an album was it earlier this year? No, earlier last year. It was called American Gothic. I really, 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 really liked that album. Enough to where when her album was released, I had commented, I mean, there's no way that she's going to see my comment, but I had commented, I was like, do you think you will make a vinyl for this record? And after her release, it was like radio silent. There's no, other than the regular jewel case CD, like there was nothing else. So I thought, maybe it was too niche for them to create an LP. But then at the record fair, they had 300 limited copies of American Gothic. And I was like, I could have gone because Sunday was the last day. But the thing is, when I saw that post, it was 5:45 and the event ended at 6 o'clock. So there was no way for me to teleport to freaking Seoul again. Because remember, it takes me an hour and a half to commute to Seoul. And her albums were probably already sold out. So I was so sad. But then, get this, the consumer trap was getting to me. My purchasing demons was on my shoulder and saying, hey, Julie, why don't you check like Carrot Market? Because maybe someone's selling it online already. And of course I did. And of course someone is selling it for a whopping $100. So someone was selling it for $100K. And I really sat there thinking, am I going to spend $100K on a vinyl? The immediate response is yes, because that's how my brain works. If I want it and I have the money for it, I would buy it. Do I really have the money? No. If I use my savings, yes. But what are savings for? Savings are saved for rainy days, right? Like you're not supposed to use it. You're not supposed to use it as this impulse buying power. But I messaged the seller anyways, and I was like, hey, are you selling it? And of course, they reply, yes, we're selling it. And I'm like, so what now? Then I try to stop myself, and I told myself, and I say, hey, Julie, how about this? You get paid at the end of this week. By the end of the week, if it's still there, then you can think about whether or not you want to buy it. And I made peace with myself saying, yeah, like I think that's a more sensible option. Let's wait till the end of the week. If it's not there, then it's not meant to be. Which you should know in the beginning that it was not meant to be. From the beginning, you missed the chance to buy the vinyl. And now you're going to pay the price of purchasing from reseller for probably double the price. Like if it was $50, I would say that it's worth it. So I only buy vinyls that obviously you should only buy vinyls that you like and not just for the aesthetic of it. So far my collection, I have Wave to Earth, which they had like their season album. That is the whole center of my freaking YouTube channel. The whole idea behind it is to document my seasons. And that song is very special to me because that song carried me through pandemic as well as when I was doing long distance with Taro. So I have that vinyl. Then my second vinyl was Killing Eve. Their second season, like a compilation album. That album means a lot to me as well. Then I got Lana Del Rey, Norman effing Rockwell, because that album is, I don't even need to say anything else. I love that album. It feels very timeless. Then the newest one that I've acquired is Everything I Know About Love by Leve. Leve? I have a feeling I'm saying it wrong. Please excuse me, but she is this like jazz inspired singer, and her songs are so amazing, and I really appreciate that album, Everything I Know About Love. So I bought it, and I actually ordered it from Urban Outfitter, and then I brought it back to Korea when I came back. So those are my vinyl collections, and to be the next person, to be the next album that I purchased, it needs to tick a lot of boxes. So I had high expectations, and American Gothic would 100% meet those criteria, except for the price, because the price is not justified. So I'm still in the process of talking myself out of it, and hopefully by the end of the week, I would be able to make a right choice. So if you don't hear me talking about it anymore, chances are maybe I fell into the consumerism trap and purchased it on a whim. But hopefully either the prices will go down or I will be able to find it elsewhere. Because I was thinking about what I would do this weekend for the upcoming weekend. I plan on giving myself like a relaxing week, like a no editing week, and then I'll get back to my editing flow for the next video, which I've already have the script for. I just need to record the voiceover and start editing. So I thought, why don't we go on a little self-care trip? So first, I'm gonna start my Saturday with pineapple buns and Thai tea. There's this one place in like north of Seoul, I think close to Gyeongbokgung Palace. There's this Hong Kong bakery, and then they sell like pretty decent pineapple buns and Thai tea. I mean, that's the best I can get here. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go record shop hopping. So I'll go to these different ones located in Seoul and see what I can find. There's one I saw online. It was someone called Gigi Records. They sell what is it called? Circles by Mac Miller. So I actually have that album. I have the CD, but it's at home. And I thought, again, if I buy a vinyl, it needs to be meaningful. And that album was also pretty meaningful to me. I listened to it a lot when I decided to quit pre-med, and I felt a little bit lost. And Mac Miller had a lot of good songs on that album that resonated with how I felt at the moment. However, I already have a CD, so I don't really need to have the vinyl. So I'm just going to go around and see what I can find, because the next vinyl I have on my list is actually Everything Everywhere All at Once, the soundtrack. So that movie, first of all, won 7 Oscars, and other than the fact that, it's getting hyped these days, the movie itself was really a masterpiece. It portrayed a lot of feelings, a lot of generational traumas that we as immigrants have felt throughout our lives. So that movie also meant a lot to me, and I went through the hassle of finding posters out here in Korea, and then finding all the here different movie theaters, they have their special events, and at CGV they had this event where they made something called a film mark. So it's kind of like a bookmark with 4 scenes printed on each film mark. So I was able to find someone who was selling a set of it for $30. So it comes with a poster. It's not the version that I wanted, because the versions here and then the version in the States are different. It's like cherry blossom, it's like pinkish. It's not really the color I wanted, but I just wanted a poster of it more than anything. So I was able to get that. Then it came with 2 film marks of several 8 scenes from the movie. Then it also came with a what do you call that? Is it a script? Would it be the script? Kind of like a script book. So on one side, it's like a black square. On one side, you have the script in English, and then on the other side, you have it translated in Korean. Because again, this is Korean audience, right? And I really like that set. So that was another purchase that I could justify. But I'm looking for that LP, and on A24.com, so the official website for the movie, it's already sold out, and some other places open for pre-orders. So pre-orders for the vinyl, it's set to be delivered in August, so it's quite a long time. And to be honest, if I have to pick between American Gothic and Everything Everywhere All at Once, I would pick Everything Everywhere All at Once for the value and the message that it carries. And also the sound scores are amazing. Yeah, it's something that I would listen to on a Sunday. But if I could have both, of course I would say both. But again, that's just my American too much trade, my hoarder trades showing itself, showing its true nature to you all. So yeah, that's basically everything that happened between the last podcast up to this point. March is coming to an end already, which is insane. Time really flies. But I hope I will continue to, stay focused on my goals, paying my loans, eating healthy, exercising more, restricting my spending habits, and being more mindful, being more disciplined. So hopefully for the weeks and months to come, I will be able to stay consistent. And I want to stay consistent with the podcast as well and continue to update you with my life. And as always, for those of you who listen to my podcast, for those of you who watches my YouTube video and leaving comments and leaving messages, I really, really, truly appreciate it because, I feel not me tearing up right now because I think it's very intimate when you get to share parts of your life with the rest of the world, when other people get to hear about, what you are thinking about, what you're going through, and have that resonate with other people is a very powerful thing. And it truly feels special when we can sync this way. Like, I wanted to say wirelessly, but that's not what I meant. When we're able to, understand each other's situation, understand each other's messages, and the fact that I'm able to reach you even though I'm not there in person, it really do feel magical. And I think that's one of the most rewarding thing about creating. So, thank you. Even though I could only say these 2 words, but it means a lot to me. And I hope, whatever you're chasing after, whatever you're looking for, you find fulfillment in the process of doing so. And, above all else, even though you're chasing those goals, don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget to still stay connected to the people around you, because it's important to have a supportive network, and it's important to not lose yourself while you are chasing these highs. I guess that's a message to myself as well, but inaction is a slow death. So don't stand still for too long. Keep moving and live a great story. That's a wrap for the 66th podcast of Lactose Intolerant. Thank you always for tuning in. I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and live fuller days, okay? I will catch you later next time.